You might think the big question of 2008 is who's going to win the presidential election, but actually, I'm more curious about when this housing market is going to have a bottom. Jim Cramer has a little bit of insight for me. Welcome, Jim.
Farnoosh, I have never seen any situation in the years that I've been in, 27 years that I've been investing, where everybody agreed on one thing, which is that 2008 will not present a bottom in housing. Because of that, even though I can't for the life of me think of a reason why it would bottom, I am intimidated into thinking that that's got to be a wrong consensus somehow. If you go back to 2003, 2004, a lot of people are predicting now that 2008 will be horrible, were people who got it wrong before. So that's one piece of the puzzle. The second piece of the puzzle is if we get housing starts down enough and we get creation of families up a little, and we've been hurt, people don't like to talk about, but the immigration business is, there's just not as much immigration, which was a lot of our growth. But you would then reach an equilibrium. Bob Toll has been saying, look, when we get the idea that you're going to lose your house, housing value, or lose your house off the front pages, perhaps because of the election, will change the psychology. It is a psychology. There is a moment right now in time where people are saying, listen, if I wait, it'll be a lower price. There will come a time within 2008 where if you wait, you will not get a lower price, and that will trigger some buying. I am convinced that not everybody can be right about this asset class. I just am convinced. I have been saying that the last 3 months of 2008 will be when you should be beginning to think about buying a house. I believe very strongly that you will get a bottom in 2008, if only just at the end of the year, because not everyone can be right, and because of household formation, because of the number of homes that are being built are coming down, and because by that time, Bernanke's lower interest rates and the snail pace that he's going will be at 2 3/4, 3, which then allows you to get a teaser. So all these things will happen, but they're just going to happen too late for most of the players who are in it now, and home builders will have to go out of business. That's also part of what I'm talking about why we can get a bottom in housing. We see 2 or 3 home builders go out of business. We see some credit lines pulled, some revolvers pulled, and then we'll stop the willy-nilly building that has persisted. Even though when you're on the conference calls with housing companies, you hear 2 things. You hear that they're still building, and you hear that they're reducing lots. Well, I don't want them to reduce lots. I want them to reduce homes built, but they can't do that because they need that in order to pay off their revolvers. Once you go out of business, you don't have to worry about building.
All right, Jim, those folks in California, I feel really bad for them. And you're saying that, housing around the last 3 months of next year,
those are the people who bought houses for $400,000 and the houses are worth $300,000. And if you bought a house between 2000 and 2004, you're not doing badly at all. If you bought a house between 2005 and 2006, you're doing quite badly. And because there was a big step function up then. And do I feel badly for these people? I feel badly for anybody who's losing their house. But I also, and it's not their fault. I mean, the Federal Reserve encouraged this. But, there's some winners and losers in life. And, people who bought in that period are losers. And it's just the way it is.
It's the name of the game.
If you bought .com, if you bought NASDAQ in 2000, you were a loser. I mean, people make mistakes. Should that be happening? Do they deserve it? No, who knows about that? No, they don't. But the fact is that they're getting hurt.
All right, but you can get better.
Yes, you can.
Thanks a lot, Jim Cramer. On housing, I'm Farnoosh Torabi for TheStreet.com TV. Stay tuned.